Everyone loves TV Dad.
On the next TV Dad, presented by Progressive, TV Dad gets us through heartache.
Chin up, sport.
Oh, hey, TV Dad.
You know what heals all wounds?
Time?
No, it's remembering that drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds.
But Jen still doesn't want to be with me.
True. I actually saw her with your friend Brian earlier.
Wait, what?
Listen to your TV Dad. Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Potential savings will vary.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Married to Reality. It's the Married at First Sight edition. I'm your co-host, John, here with my wife and co-host. It's the one and only Teresa out there.
Hello, everyone. How is everyone doing?
You really want to know?
I think I know.
I think you do know.
What? Why do they read the letters
This?
to younger selves?
Ugh.
Jesus Christ, stop doing it. It's so, yeah. It's like a self-pity fest.
It's an interesting idea. I don't hate the idea, but every time someone launches into their letter, it's just like a bad cover of the Baz Luhrmann sunscreen song. I feel like I've said it before. I'm saying it again right now. It's just a knockoff of Everybody Wears Sunscreen.
I don't know what that means, but
I've still never played it for you, huh?
no. Is it a song?
Yeah. Oh, it's a good song.
What? Is it like for a sunscreen commercial?
No. And I could be misspeaking here, but I believe it started with, I forget who it was. Somebody gave a graduation speech.
Okay.
And it was like, to the class of 1999, whatever, here are my thoughts. And it was this letter to this class. And it was like, accept certain inalienable truths. Prices
So
will
it's not a
rise.
song.
Politicians will philander. You too will get old, right? And it's just this letter. It was put to music.
Oh.
And it's a banger. And it fires me up and it inspires me. And I love it. And I love it so much that when I hear these letters, I'm like, you're just trying to be Baz.
Do you love it more than System of a Down?
Ooh! You trying to get me to flip this table right here, Teresa?
Guys, we're big fans, and we didn't know this about each other, and we literally learned yesterday.
Disorder.
Such a lonely day.
Everybody's going to the party. Yeah, we were driving back from Hotlanta at midnight last night, and those back roads get dark and the eyes get heavy.
So I asked John I was driving. I was like, DJ for me. So he's playing my favorite songs, and then it turned into this, and do you know this song?
Yeah, I
And
was doing all of Teresa's greatest hits. I was doing Green Day. I was
Yes.
doing Evanescence. We did a little 21 Pilots. We did some Nickelback.
Yeah, and says a lot about me.
And as the drive went on, the energy needed to be elevated more and more because it was getting later and later. And finally, we reached the point. It's probably an hour from home. And I said, have you ever heard of this?
And I was like, shut up. I was going to say stop it. I don't say shut up to John. I was like, stop it. I was literally about to tell you to play some System of a Down. That was so wild.
Yeah. And then for the entire rest of the trip, we just rocked out to SOAD. And System of a Down.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah, we digress, but it's a great chunk.
That's what we do.
A great catalog of music if you need to amp yourself up.
Oh, yeah.
No, it's a different type of music, the Baz Luhrmann sunscreen. I'll play it for you.
Okay.
I'll play it for you. You'll totally get what I'm saying. But yeah, enough with the letters.
That's so...
And then, okay, the letter's one thing, and then take me back to somewhere from your childhood is another thing. And usually it's, this is the park that I used to play at as a child. This is the house that I grew up in. Now we're just going to like paint stores because my dad painted houses for a living. We're going to go to a paint store. We're going to go to an Italian deli.
Or a hair school.
That I could see the logic there.
Well, honestly, if the letters, let's say if they write their letters and then the experts would kind of sit there on it as they read it to each other and kind of not digest, but go deeper on what it means, what they brought from their childhood into the relationship, right? Just to write a letter, like why would I do that?
Yeah, start a podcast. That's how you will learn about your significant other.
Oh yeah, like my letter would just be stop smoking now. You're eventually gonna stop. You're gonna save a lot of money. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like enjoy school because you're gonna enjoy it as an adult. So maybe start now yourself. You'll save yourself a few years. Like all these things, but it's like, did it shape me to who I am today necessarily, or do I have a trauma?
Of course. Yes.
I don't.
Great trauma. Well, of course who you were as a child and who you surrounded yourself as a child shaped you today.
I just took you to a childhood place of mine I used to serve beers at.
The bowling alley?
Bowling, yeah.
Yeah. And everything makes sense now. Let's do a little quick itty bitty housekeeping and then we can get into the episode, okay?
Yeah.
Real quick. We're on Instagram at Married to Reality Pod. Follow us there. We got memes, we got news, scheduling. You can message us. We love it at Married to Reality Pod on Instagram. Also, big news. Patreon.com/Married to Reality. Talk about learning about your significant other through a podcast. We just did the Seeking Brother Husband
Woo,
podcast.
guys.
What a doozy.
Guys, if you're tired of mass, not tired of listening to us, just tired of mass, come over to the Patreon because that show is out of control.
Yeah, we just recorded that episode, and I learned a lot about it. I think, Teresa, you were on the couch, and I think you thought you were on the therapist's couch because
Probably.
you started to really divulge some information.
Yeah,
so that's why it's on the Patreon.
I feel like I went too far.
No, this is great. But patreon.com/Married to Reality. Right now we have Seeking Brother Husband. We just kicked that off. We're going to do that season. We're doing Darcey and Stacey. But when that finishes, we're going to kick it over to Love in Paradise. So much is happening on the Patreon. You're going to be getting
Come over.
double the content, double the fun. Patreon.com/Married to Reality. Those bonus episodes start at the Cousins Club level for audio only. And then Family Affair gets you audio, video, and a monthly bonus. And then if you just want to stick with these free feed episodes, but you don't want the housekeeping, which is what we're doing right now, if you don't want the ads, well, you can get in at the Friends with Benefits level. There's no advertising there. There's no housekeeping. You will get 10% off merch. And once in a while, we do all Patreon exclusives where no matter what tier you're at, you'll get it. So like the Love is Blind After the Altar stuff, that's all tier. Some behind the scenes stuff, all tier. So patreon.com/Married to Reality. Okay, also, make sure you're following us right here, right now. So easy to do. Look down, smash that follow button.
Guys, smash it like it's as hot as the house that Kirsten was showing to shop. That was a very nice 2.9 million house. Damn.
Yeah.
When someone tells me they bought a $500,000 house, I'm like, holy shit, how did you pay for it? 2.9? Who buys houses like that?
That's out of control. Not us. But I will direct you back to patreon.com/Married to Reality, and maybe one day we can get a house.
Guys, if you want us to buy a 2.9 million house, come over to the Patreon.
And last but not least, if you haven't left a review, if you could do that, we love the love. We love the reviews. When you guys write a review on Apple Podcasts primarily, we read it on the Monday night podcast. So please rate, review. We love the love.
Bring the love.
Bring the love. Share the love.
Spread the love.
Spread the love.
Spread the love.
All right. Should we do it? Shall we?
Let's do it, Jonathan.
Get into this
it.
episode, Married at First Sight, Season 16, Episode 13. It's Take Your Husband to Work Day, Teresa.
Yay. I would love that. Yeah, but
you want to come? I mean, we're at the office right now.
We work from home, so.
We're at the office right now.
That's true. We kind of like, today you scared me when you walked on me. I was in a meeting. I was like, what?
Sort of like your mom. Now I see where you get it from.
But like you were experiencing what I'm doing. And I do that too. When you are in the meeting, I walk by, go to the bathroom. So We bring each other to work.
Yeah, my mom's a realtor, and she's taken me to some open houses and whatnot.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
My dad, you know that, we're going to digress a bit, but my dad worked in advertising.
Okay.
And then had worked at a newspaper, and my dad was a writer. Now he teaches. Classic career move.
Okay.
But
Careel? I was trying to do a Careel.
A Careel pun.
Yeah.
Well, I used to bring me to work to the agency, and they did like in-house print and all that.
Okay.
I loved it. All these guys were always like making me like printing shirts for me, whatever I drew.
So
it was the best.
Teresa, would you say that shaped you as a young adult into maybe who you are today?
Maybe, yeah, probably it has some
Okay.
effect on
All
me.
right. So then take it back.
I like to think that I'm a very creative person.
Take it back, Teresa. So yes, we're at this house that Kirsten is showing, and she's just as low energy when she's showing a mansion as when she is discussing anything else in her life.
Well, there is something calm. I was like thinking about it. I'm like, she is the type of a person I would probably buy something from because she's very calm and she's not forceful.
Here's
it's
the
the same thing
difference.
with car dealerships.
Here's the difference. She is calm, but she's uninterested. There's no twinkle in her eye. Like, oh, you got to see this. You got to see that. This is an amazing house. There's no excitement in her voice about what she's showing you, so it's hard for you to get excited. And I said, my mom's a realtor.
Yeah.
One of the best things she ever said to me was, you show them the house, but you can't sell them a house. They got to sell themselves on the house. If they don't want the house, there's no way you're going to talk them into dropping hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars.
Yeah.
They have to sell themselves on the house.
Yeah, I mean, that's true. I can totally see how your mom is a successful realtor because your mom is so friendly, but not bubbly. There is a fine line. Yes, there is a fine line between being friendly and bubbly. I do not like bubbly people. I do like friendly people. And your mom is like the right amount of like friendly. Mm-hmm. And I totally see her doing this job. Kirsten, I can see her being like a high-end seller that just basically she doesn't have to do shit if the people have money like the house. She's just going to walk them through and you want to close the deal. And she closes the deal or no.
A lot of the work for a realtor too, though, is done behind the scenes. It's not done on the living room floor.
Yeah.
It's done at the desk, negotiating, trying to get the contracts done. I don't see the excitement or energy or go-getter attitude when I look at her.
But she must have it because she seems to be successful driving a Mercedes.
She's got that Mercedes.
You must, if you're selling 2.9 million houses, you must be doing something right.
Yeah.
And she's like, she presents herself well too. Like she puts herself, she's well put together. She's well spoken,
But if you've ever watched
quiet and slow, but
if you've ever watched $1 Million Listing or any of those shows,
those guys are on cocaine.
Yeah, they all have the look, but they are sprinting around New York City.
Oh yeah.
trying to close the deal. So they're at the house, and the open house turns into a conversation about children.
Yes, and they can see buying a house like this, having the kids running around, and then Kirsten says something that I still think she was joking, kind of, because she goes like, "Well, they were talking about buying a house," and Shaq goes like, "Well, in the future," and she's like when? Like when your lease is up, like in 3 months, and he's like, I wasn't sure what he was saying, yes or no. Probably he needed more time, and then Kirsten is like, "Well, if you want to continue this marriage, you have to buy me a house."
Yeah, I don't think she was joking.
And she's like, "I want to tell people that my husband bought me a house." And I think if he said, "I'll buy you a house," she would be like, "Oh my gosh, thank you." Mm-hmm. But I also know that she knows that he's still finishing school. He's paying for school. Obviously, he cannot afford a house like this. But she makes decent money. It's not like she's she's a stay-at-home mom and she expects someone to take care of her.
I'm sure he's making pretty good money too.
Oh, I
at
think
the
so,
director
too.
level at a university.
Oh, I think so too. But I'm saying is like she makes a lot of money too. That's why I wouldn't expect her to assume that someone's gonna just come in and buy her a house.
Oh, it has nothing to do with how much she makes. It has everything to do with, do you think I'm worth it? Don't worry about my bank account. Do you think I'm worth spending that money on? This, I don't think it was a joke. You think it's a joke? At the very least, was a test to see what's his response going to be. And
maybe that's what it was.
he failed in her eyes.
Hard.
He even goes, oh, excuse me, buy my wife a house? And the response that makes me go, oh, this is not a joke. She goes, yeah, this is who I am. And
She laughed at it. That's why I think she was joking.
No, she
Guys,
thinks,
Colin.
Colin, okay, we'll open up the phone lines. Colin, she thinks it's cute. That's why she laughed. She thinks that personality trait of, I get what I want. I deserve it all. She thinks that's cute. And so she laughed after it. But I don't think she was laughing because it was a joke.
Man,
she
you
wouldn't
gotta-
she brought it up 19 times this episode. I don't think you would tell that same joke 19 times.
You got it so easy with me.
Yeah, cactus and
You're gonna be the rabbit mug.
cactus and $7.99 rosé.
Yes, my rooster rosé.
Yes. All right.
Ah, good times.
Speaking of homes, we end up at Kirsten's childhood home.
Yes.
She's showing Shaq, this is where I grew up. A lot of good times here, but also some sadness because this is the house my parents were in when they separated. And Shaq wants to know, all right, tell me more about that. Well, I was 8. I was upset, but it taught me strength, taught me how to deal with different obstacles in marriage. And she brings up, yes, my parents split, but, and here's where we get back to it almost immediately, my dad always provided. He always provided for the family.
Well, that's
man
how
should
she
provide.
grew up. But here's the thing. She is working. So it's not like the old school that, oh man, we have 4 kids and someone needs to take care of them and someone needs to work. Well, the standard is the guy's gonna work, the woman's gonna stay home. I'm not saying it has to be like that, right? But that's how it used to be. And so she's not that kind of a person. She makes her own money.
I could see her making her own money and spending her own money on herself, and then having Shaq make his money and spend it on her. It's the whole, well, our money or your money is my money and my money is my money thing. It's not all one big pot of money. I don't know that for a fact.
I think based on what she was saying later, I think she either was joking or testing him and he took it too seriously. I think he could have laughed it off a little bit or just be like, oh, or like play with her, be like, sure, I'll buy you a castle one day.
No, because I would be testing you right back and going, are you being serious? Let's see how serious you are about this joke. Because he said, oh yeah, buy my wife a house. And she's like, that's who I am. That's who I am.
How would you test her back?
How would I test her back?
Yeah.
I would say what Shaq said. Oh yeah, just buy my wife a house. Sure, I'll just buy you a house. And then if you're like, yeah, I'm joking, then I'd go, okay, good. And if you're
But also, like,
that's who I am.
Some people have a strange sense of humor. It can keep going and you then gonna end up being
Teresa,
like,
we don't need a joke all the time. You know what? We don't. Everything doesn't need to be a joke. Who said that?
yes,
Kirsten.
and now she's
Kirsten.
trying to be more, a little funky, a little.
Here's my
drop some
here's
joke.
here's my take.
I like her. She's weird, but I like her.
Here's my take. Good kisser, terrible joker.
All right.
So okay, just very quickly to put a bow on that little scene. Shaq hasn't met Kirsten's dad.
No, and she wants him to meet him, but not yet.
Yeah, and so when she keeps bringing up, oh, my dad this, my dad that, he provided, the man should provide, he always wanted to provide. Shaq's like, all right, well, when I meet your dad, I'll talk to him and I'll take notes and he can help me understand how he did what he did, but he hasn't had that chance yet.
Well, here's why I think that is. I think Kirsten's dad does not approve of this whole thing. And so I think she wants to prove him wrong. Like she wants to make sure this is solid before she goes to them and be like, hey, this is my husband, but in a couple of weeks, we might get a divorce. Whether get past decision day, make sure this is good, and then be like, hey, Dad, this is my husband, Chuck. I told you this was a good idea.
Yeah.
If you have a judgmental parent who disagree with something that you're doing, like, I personally would want to prove them wrong. I don't have those kind of parents. My parents are kind of like, you do you, girlfriend. But if I did, I would want to prove them wrong before I would do anything else.
I hear you, but we're 5 weeks into this experiment at this point. So if she's not ready to involve her dad, to me, that speaks more to her seriousness in what she's going to say on decision day.
Unless her dad doesn't want to be part of this, and this is just her sugarcoating it instead of saying like, hey, my dad does not want to meet you.
Potentially. That's always a possibility. So Kirsten's dad doesn't want to meet, but Shaq's all about family, wants family to play a big part in this relationship. So Kirsten, they meet up with Shaq's godmother and godsister.
Yes.
And they brought photos.
And here's the thing. I think if they're not going to make it, it's going to be because of Kirsten's kind of a personality, how she went from not so hot to hot, but making these little weird comments, because not deep down, on the surface, she likes him. She's enjoying him. And she's like, I love everything about this. I love he takes care of the family. I love he's driven. I even love the bald head. Like she learned or she grew to be attached to him. And she's not an expressive person. She doesn't show a lot of emotion.
That's fair.
But it's not just about Chuck, as you said. She's showing this big ass house, and there is not a lot that comes out of her. That's just who she is.
Yeah.
But you can tell now she's like, oh, I love this. I love that he was the family coordinator. I love he keeps the family together. I love all this.
Right. But so then you should see how important family is to your husband and say, you know what, I'll do everything I can so that you can meet more of my family.
Again, maybe her family might be a little, not strict, but not wanting to be part of any of this. Maybe they don't want to be on TV. Like,
Fair enough. But then do it off camera. If this is to be a real marriage, then don't shoot yourself in the foot because, well, the cameras are around and he doesn't want to be on camera, so we can't meet. Say, all right, well, the cameras only follow us X amount of days a week or hours a month, so let's go meet. If it's that important to you, let's go meet my dad off camera.
well, the cameras would probably want to be there.
Oh, for sure. But I would hope, because I put my faith in these shows, I would hope a successful relationship is more important than capturing a scene
True.
for the show.
Okay.
Okay. All right. That is Kirsten and Shaq. I think it's an all right time to take a quick break.
All right.
We're going to tell you about our sponsor for this episode, and then we'll come back. All right, Teresa?
Sounds good, Jonathan.
All right. We'll be back in a second.
Guys, I'm super excited about our new sponsor for the pod. You guys know that John hates when I talk about working out, but it's a big part of my lifestyle. Well, something else has become a part of that lifestyle, and it's called Fit 8 energy drinks. I'm actually drinking the blackberry pineapple right now, and I could try to describe how good it is, but right now you can actually save 40% off your first order of 24 cans of Fit 8 energy plus free shipping. Wild! So you can try it for yourself. You guys just need to visit www.drinkfit8.com/meritreality. One more time. www.drinkfit8.com/meritreality and make sure you put the www in the URL. And I'm looking at John, and he's also drinking a can of something delicious. You want to tell us about it, Jonathan?
Yeah, you actually just caught me mid-sip right there, Teresa. I am drinking the peach mandarin flavor. I think it's my favorite. It's refreshing. It's delicious. But the best part All the flavors are 100% naturally sweetened with none of that gut-killing aspartame, no sucralose or Ace K, words I can barely say, words I don't want to hear Teresa even try to say. Plus, Fit 8 Energy is packed with all the essential vitamins, minerals, and nutrients you need after a workout, like branched-chain amino acids, glucosamine, electrolytes, turmeric, omega-3s, and vitamins B, C, D3, and E. And maybe my favorite part, Fit 8 has 200 milligrams of clean caffeine from green tea. Clean caffeine from green tea, Teresa. So I get the energy I need without any of the synthetic ingredients.
I love that. Do you want to know what my favorite part is?
I think I can guess, but tell me, Teresa.
My favorite part is that Fit 8 Energy is only 15 calories per can, and it comes in 4 very delicious flavors, including mango sorbet, yum, raspberry hibiscus, yum, and of course peach mandarin and blackberry pineapple, yum yum.
So, like Teresa said, right now we're giving our listeners 40% off your first order of 24 cans of Fit 8 Energy, plus that free shipping by going to www.drinkfit8.com/married-to-reality. Again, www.drinkfit8.com/married-to-reality. We'll also put the link in the show notes, so check it out. And thanks again to Fit 8 for sponsoring this podcast. And we're back.
Hello, Jonathan.
Hello, Teresa. Are you okay over there? You seem very preoccupied.
What do you mean?
You're adjusting things and fixing things.
I went from being really cold to being really hot.
I told you, guys.
And I'm wearing a sweater and there is nothing underneath.
Vindication. So. Every episode, we come into this room, we flip on the ceiling fan, we boop the AC down to a tepid 70. And Teresa goes, John, it's freezing. And I go, well, give it 2.5 minutes and you'll be hot.
But why do I get hot? Because I get fired up?
You get fired when you're talking. You're using your body. You're getting expressive. You're wearing headphones.
Yes.
Okay?
Ugh, I'm so hot.
This is probably I don't even want to do the math. This is probably our 250th episode. Have you not learned?
No. Can I sit here with my boobs out?
No, save it for the Patreon. Patreon.com/married-to-reality. All right. Let's talk about Jasmine and Eris.
Ugh, I hate Eris, but okay.
I know.
He
got to me a little bit at the end of this episode, but yes, generally.
It's like I'm bothered by the fact that he's trying to try, but he's not trying. Like he's trying to open up, as he says, but he doesn't. Him opening up, talking about his dad, that's what he's been doing from day one. And I get that. It's a big part of who you are, but he doesn't grow closer to her. Like there is no, like they're friends. They're friendly, but there is no affection there. They don't do anything about that, and she needs it. And all he keeps doing about trying to open up. Like stop opening up. Just open her up.
Hey. All right, take your shirt off. It's appalling the lack of expert intervention we have this season.
Well, yeah, like we've seen DP once, PC
DP once. She couldn't even bother to go to the apartment. She's like, meet me in the lobby.
Yeah.
See, PC, who knows what he's doing.
And then we're going to have that one expert joining again this season.
Oh, really?
The sexpert, but she sucked. I think she was in the last
Pia?
season. I think
Dr.
it's Pia.
But this is ripe for an expert to come in here and go, you know what? You're doing it all wrong. You say you're trying, Eris. You're not. Here's some actual things you could do besides pick out pieces of paper from a fishbowl.
Yeah, or write a letter to younger self. Stop it. I think I'm going to get on maps as an expert on the next season.
Oh, boy.
And I'll stir the pot a little.
Okay.
I shake the fishbowl.
All right. So we start with Jasmine and her friend Nikki's over. They're going to have some wine and do a little gossip. And Jasmine says, things have been a roller coaster. I'm not used to being so vulnerable. I was happy when I first saw Eris. I was happy. I thought he was cute. And that's really all I need is just cute.
Yeah.
Right? Bar's pretty low. Cute. It's good. But now I feel like the attraction's dying because he's not making me feel secure in this relationship.
Well, for her, it's not that she's that easy that, oh, he's cute and that's all I need. But she said, well, he's cute, but for me, attraction, all this comes from how he treats me, how he interacts with me. She's not just a shallow person. I actually really like Jasmine. She goes deep.
Oh, I can't say a bad thing about her.
No, there's nothing bad about Jasmine.
Except
She's great.
what do you see in Eris? But the defense is, I think she's committed to the process.
Yeah.
I think she's going, we got 3 more weeks left. I'm going to give it my all. Like, good for her.
Yeah, for sure. She's awesome.
Yeah. So, Eris, get your act together. And then, of course, we had that tease where we thought Shaq was coming in hot.
Yeah.
I can't believe they got us with that.
Classic maths.
Classic editors. I can't believe they got us with that.
I know.
And then as soon as the scene started.
Yeah, I was like nothing juicy.
But I said, oh, I can call this how this
like, first of all, in the preview, I'm like, where are they? It's just like, it almost seemed like, are they on like a fake date? They're sitting on the car.
They're like a garage.
What
the
is
mechanic.
this? Grease?
Huh.
The movie.
I know. Never seen it, but I know.
What?
Oh, boy. I'm just going to start saying I've seen things to avoid this.
Guys. I mean, John. And guys.
Anyone listening right now?
You know that when we travel on the planes, many times I just watch Dirty Dancing or Grease.
Okay, well, those are 2 different movies. Granted, I haven't seen either, but I
just love the old school, like, oh, the good-looking guy, the nerdy girl, all the music. I'm jamming in my seat. No?
I actually do want to see Dirty Dancing because I think
it's so good.
I think it's sort of based off of those old Catskill resorts.
No one puts baby in the corner.
Right? Well, I've heard that one. But I used to go. My family, we would go to the Catskills, to those types of resorts.
I love John Travolta. You don't, but I love John Travolta. He's so good.
I don't dislike him. I hate that commercial he's in.
I don't mind it. He was also in that movie I really like that the baby was talking.
Look who's talking.
Yeah. I like it when I was younger.
It was in Czech?
Yeah, like it was, they had the Czech dubbing. It was great.
Interesting. All right. We end up at a baseball card shop, which was a big part of Eris's childhood, I guess.
I didn't even know that exists. I used to collect Pokemon.
Oh,
well, first I collect those, like, I don't know if you guys had it in America. Those like round...
Pogs.
Yes!
Oh, me too.
Oh my God, hardcore.
Ooh, big Pog collector.
Fan.
The slammers? The metal slammers?
Oh.
Did you play or did you just collect?
Oh, I played.
I played. I would go to conventions.
What? Okay, I didn't.
I didn't go to conventions, but I think I went to like a hotel lobby once.
I played in school.
Oh, yeah.
I always that's what I was spending my money on Pogs. We called it Poggy.
Yeah. The plastic slammer was such a ripoff.
Yeah.
But you need the metal slammer.
Yeah, but it was like only like the expensive packages. We had like, it was me when I was in, what is it? Not middle school, elementary school. And we had like one rich kid in the class. Like all of us were just like middle class kids, right? And there was like one rich kid who had a driver, which is like you never see it in Czech.
He had a driver?
Yeah, like being dropped off to school.
All right.
It was great. Like I think his dad was Austrian.
Are you sure it just wasn't his parents dropping him off? Because
that's what he told us.
If you guys don't know about Teresa's upbringing, she had to walk to the bus stop with the key around her neck, take a city bus 2 hours to school, and then do the same thing on the way home.
Well, you're mixing it up a little bit. I did the key for half an hour to take piano lessons, and then my high school was 2 hours away.
Got it.
But I was walking to my elementary and middle school. It was like 5 minutes away.
Yeah. Maybe it was just dad.
He was always telling us that it's his driver because I remember it was this like fancy dark car, like Mercedes or something. But anyways, he always had money. He always brought candy for us.
Are there private schools in Czech?
No.
So a wealthy kid would just go to your school.
And like we don't have like, I don't even know who... I mean, they're definitely wealthy kids somewhere.
Yeah.
Not in my town necessarily, but he was definitely the wealthy one who always brought all these. And sometimes like he brought pugs for everyone. He was just like spraying it and we were just like catching it. And then I remember like in second grade, he had like a crush on me and he gave me all the medal. Like whenever he had a medal one. He gave me one. I was always like, oh my gosh. And I had so many of them.
That's amazing.
right? But they were scratching the pucks.
I'll never forget. Costco started to sell a huge tub of pogs.
Stop it. We didn't have that.
And I think my cousin bought the tub. And at that point I was like, well, this kind of isn't fun anymore.
Yeah, that's true.
Like the fun is to go to a store, like buy a few.
Yeah, they were sold in these like small packs of 5 or 10.
And then you collect them. To go to Costco, you buy like 500 pogs at once.
Costco, you ruined pucks.
I ruined the Kirkland pogs.
But yeah, you remember the paper store I took you to?
Yeah.
So those stores, like there was one near our apartment, and they were selling pucks.
Yeah.
And it was always like me trying to save up my couple of dollars to go,
Couple Czech crowns. Yeah.
to go and get some pucks.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I
was also collecting Pokemon.
I was gonna say I also collected baseball cards. Just
Really?
Yeah. Tops. What were the other brands?
I did hockey cards for a little bit.
Upper Deck.
But then the boys didn't want to play with me.
I did baseball.
Then
mainly.
I tried Barbie, but then I didn't like it because I'm not into that. And a lot of my girlfriends were collecting horses, but I wasn't into that either.
Huh? Not actual horses.
No.
I mean, you had a kid at school with a driver. You guys are collecting horses.
I think the more I think about it right now, I think it was his dad.
Yeah, no shit.
But he always told us it was his driver. Oh,
Well, it was.
You're ruining childhood
His
for me.
dad was his driver.
I always thought I had a rich kid had a crush on me, but okay.
He
No,
still had a
like
lot of pogs.
little pictures, like you have a Pokemon cards, horses cards.
Oh,
Yeah.
My Little Pony.
No, an actual picture of actual horses.
No.
And there were stickers too. You had like a collection book that you like stick your horses in.
Imagine today you'd be like, hello, sir. Hello, sir.
Oh, I could
Hello,
not
sir.
do that.
So many sirs.
Hello, sir.
So, yeah, I guess cards. Cards were a thing for Eris, and it's how he made friends in Nashville. But the conversation just turned into Eris saying he bails on things a lot. Relationships, places, just ups and leaves.
You know what's interesting? I just got me thinking. You are 4 years older than me. Oh, it's fine. Yet we both played Pogs.
And rock out to System of a Down.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not that crazy. I was going to say, oh, yeah, Pogs were around for several years, which maybe they were. But it's not like one specific age plays Pogs. I think I was probably 12 playing Pogs.
What?
And you were probably
At
8.
12, I was smoking cigarettes, but yeah. I
Right, so
probably.
you're probably 8.
Yeah, I was.
Yeah.
I was.
Yeah, exactly.
Like 7, 8, 9.
Yeah, I was a good kid, Teresa.
So was I.
Sure. All right. Then a couple of letters to yourself. Eris basically just said, forgive your father, cherish the moments you spent together, and feel free to express yourself.
I'm glad you're not reading the whole letters because I'm not like.
Well, actually, my voice just feels shot. I thought it was the pollen in Atlanta, but now I just think,
There is pollen here,
know.
wherever we live. I promise you, I have pollen allergy. It wasn't bad in Atlanta for me.
I think my voice is probably just gone from singing John Mayer for 2 hours
Your
straight.
body is a wonderland.
Really going full circle here from System of a Down to, we're going 180 actually from System of a Down to John Mayer.
System of a Down is the bomb.
Yeah.
Forgot how much I enjoy it.
Yeah. Jasmine did her letter. It was just like, you're gonna get bullied, and there's light at the end of the tunnel.
Well, this was sad because she's like, I had this great childhood, great friends, school was fun, and then we moved to Memphis, and I was too, what did she say, proper? I was
Yeah.
too proper for
Yeah.
Memphis, and kids started bullying me, and that's so sad.
Kids are.
But I can see her
Mean.
being like the good kid, the one that's just the good, nice kid, and all of a sudden, badass Memphis, and she just didn't blend in. Sad.
Oh, Memphis. Mm-hmm. Oh, Memphis.
Someone told me that Memphis sucks.
Well, Memphis is, I think, if you look up most dangerous cities, I think Memphis always tops the list.
Yeah, well, it's Detroit too.
No.
Detroit has good neighborhoods, I heard.
No, Memphis, I think. Yeah.
Really?
Oh, yeah, Teresa.
Elvis is a stomping ground.
That's true. Mm-hmm. Look at you. All right. Nicole and Chris.
Yes, Nicole and Chris.
I could smell this Little Hats Italian market. Like you can smell an Italian deli.
You know what it reminds me of? And maybe that's why Nicole went there, because she's a New Yorker.
Like a bodega.
Well, no, I was going for that fancy Italian store that you could like shop. But
No. What are you? Italy?
Yeah.
How in the world?
No. Not by the looks, by any means. The idea that you just walk in, you shop Italian goods, and then you sit down and you eat mom's spaghetti.
Okay. Shout out to Detroit. No, I didn't get that at all. I said, oh, yeah, this does look like a good little New York Italian deli. I could smell the oregano. I could smell the basil.
I used to love going to Italy, and they have great drinks.
Yeah, they have a cool bar.
And all these great sauces. They always sell the one with the lady we like on the label, Lydia.
Oh,
Yeah.
So Nicole's childhood, she was a little bit of a rebel, which I don't know that I saw coming. She was skipping school, staying out late.
It reminded me, I'm sorry I jumped into this, but what she was saying reminded me of myself.
Oh, I wrote down, this is like the girl who stole your shells.
Yeah.
So basically, just to summarize Nicole, she was kind of going against the grain, going against what her parents wanted, staying out late. Her grades were suffering, but she was doing it to fit in. She wanted to be accepted, wanted to be cool. My wife over here, well, Teresa, you can tell your own story.
Well, I think I mentioned it, but probably it's going to be a few years. Me and my parents, real quick, we used to go to Croatia every summer, and a big part of my Croatian vacation, besides reading Harry Potter and snorkeling, was picking up shells and crabs. And my mom also loved picking up shells. So we just brought these beautiful shells from Croatia, and then this bully in school, her name was Monica.
Oh, Monica.
Well, we're friends on Facebook now.
It's not the Monica that's with your cousin, is it?
No.
Oh, okay.
She's 12 years younger than me.
I don't know.
No. A very, very different Monica. And she always was like, you have to bring me 5 shells tomorrow.
Was this girl in Croatia or once you got home?
No, once I got home.
How'd she know about your shell collection?
Because I told her I went to Croatia. I told her I collect shells. And
you're going to make me cry.
She made me. My parents got, like, it was crazy. Let's say, so I lived next to the school. It's like this, like, you saw it. What would you describe that wherever I lived? All
An
those
apartment
buildings.
complex.
Well, it wasn't a complex. It was
An
more like
apartment
a
building.
Yeah, I don't want
It
to
was
say
like communist style apartments.
Yeah. And so my school, the one with I showed you, we drove past it, was like 2-3 minutes literally lived next to it. She lived like 10 minutes away. She
Walking.
made me, walking. She made me to leave my house early in the morning, go and pick her up. I always had to wait for her downstairs because she never got ready on time. Brought her my shells,
This is such a
walked her
sad
to
story.
school, and I was always hoping she'll sit with me. Many times she said she's not gonna sit with me.
I want to give you a hug right now.
Yeah, I was a moron. I was my dad was like, I remember just my dad giving me this pep talk like, you cannot do this. You cannot let kids to walk all over you. And I was like, I was such a little moron.
Is
And
your
then I
dad
kind of-
heiress? Jeez.
I kind of grew out of it then, and that.
Why were the shells such a hot commodity? Like, why did this cool girl want
She
shells?
didn't go to Croatia, and I was like, well, me and my mom, we picked up a lot of shells. She's like, I want it.
Oh my God.
And then my mom was like, where are all the shells?
Yeah, what the shell?
What a shell, exactly. And I switched schools after 5th grade, and I met my friend Teresa, you know her.
Yeah.
And we became besties, and things really turned out. And people walked all over me, especially Monica, but she did it to other people too. Like whenever we played, like we were like replaying all these telenovelas, right? Like Esmeralda, Cassandra. Have you ever watched it?
No.
You ladies will probably know. Like she was like Xena.
No.
Xena?
Yeah, Xena Warrior
Yeah,
Princess.
I could never be Xena. I always have to be Gabriella to just fight with Monica, everyone else. And she always like pushed me to fight other people for her. It's
I don't
like
know what's happening.
like guys, I mean, all of you are grown up, so it's too late to say it, but if you have kids, tell them don't be morons. Don't let anyone to walk over you because it's not worth it.
Okay. All right. Let's go to the next day where it's notes to ourselves once again. I won't read it, but I just have to call out the fact that Chris had Nicole read his note because he was driving.
And it took me like a minute to realize. I was like, John, wait a minute. What is she doing? Is she reading her letter? No.
Yeah,
she was reading his.
Why are you reading his diary? But pull over, read it before you get in the car. Why? It was some weird.
I don't know.
Weird tactic to have her read it so he didn't have to, I think.
Here is what I got from this little segment. Screw the letter. I don't care. Chris is driving an Audi, right? Like a nicer car.
Is he?
It's not like, yeah. It's not like a car of two big dog owners.
Huh.
I think people who have like dogs who are so obsessed with them, they're bigger. Like I would expect him in like a Honda. Like give the dog some space.
Oh, I wish I had paid attention.
Yeah, it was like a Audi, black Audi sedan.
Could it be Nicole's car? Could he just be driving Nicole's car?
I don't know. But maybe she at least has one dog, but he has two big dogs. I don't know. That's not a car I would want to drive my dogs in.
Yeah, I mean, a good dog, a good boy gets in the back seat, sticks his head out the window, and calls it a day.
That's probably true.
All right.
But anyways, this was my observation. What was in the letter? Who knows?
The letter was basically Chris's dad was pretty shitty, which
Yeah.
I may have missed if they discussed this earlier in the season, but it was like, dear younger me, tell your mom the guy she dated was an asshole. Like, basically, it was that.
Wait, the guy she dated?
Yeah, I think.
So the parents are not married?
Oh, maybe. Oh, no. So maybe you're right. So maybe dad was bad because we'll talk about that in a second. But then maybe it's just his mom
It's a bad dater.
has a bad picker. And that's when Nicole says, oh, maybe Chris's mom and I have more in common than we thought.
That would make sense.
We have a history of picking bad men.
That would make sense.
Yeah. And then Nicole is basically like, yeah, you're going to go through a lot. People are going to take advantage of you. Well, be smart. Don't let them. And you're going to grow up to be fabulous and everything will work out.
Yeah. And that was kind of it.
Yeah.
But then they get to this spark where Nicole is reading her letter about like, keep it fabulous, girl. You're going to grow up being fabulous. And
That's
I'm
what
like,
I just said.
oh. What am I thinking?
I don't know.
Oh, okay. See, all these letters are blending in.
The only letter that goes down in MAF's fame, MAF's infamy, should be printed and framed in the MAF's Hall of Fame.
Is what? I don't know what you're going to say.
Lindsay's letter. Remember, she was like in the woods, just telling everyone how great she is.
Oh, yeah.
And how even though people don't understand her greatness,
Oh, yeah.
she's great and she makes other people great just by them being around her.
One extension. Yes.
That's so good.
Like, I cannot. I know it's probably gonna sound really shitty because I'm doing the podcast, but I don't pay attention to these letters anymore. I listen, I forgot. It's all the same shit. Right now, I totally dismiss John saying it because it's the letter again. I'm like, let's move on.
Therese is really against the letter. All right, we get to this paint store. This was so dumb. Chris's dad owned a painting business, which to me means he painted houses.
Yeah.
But we're going to go to a paint store because that's the closest we can get. Even though he didn't like working for his dad. He was like, I don't like working for my dad. He was a bad boss, bad dad. But let's go to this painting store.
Did they advertise the store?
I did not see
I did not see that either. I think they just, let's go somewhere.
Yeah. They should have just done body painting like Shaq and Kirsten. That would have been a better painting experience.
That's true.
Than this random store. But Chris says, yeah, my parents were divorced. My dad was only around every other weekend, so I didn't have a male role model to look up to. That's why I wear bathing suits to important events. It's a whole thing. And the most brutal thing you can say he said, my dad made me realize the type of man I don't want to be. Like, imagine hearing your son say, yeah, I don't want to be like anything like my dad.
I mean, it's honesty.
It's a brutal honesty.
I mean, I can say whatever I want because my parents wouldn't understand, but it is
It's sad.
brutal honesty.
It's brutal honesty, but it's the truth, and he should speak his truth. But it's sad that his dad was so bad that made Chris go, well, I'm going to do everything I can to be the opposite. Like if we have kids, I would want our kids to look up to us and go like, oh, I want to be like them. I want to be like mom and dad. Of course,
but I also would hope you wouldn't divorce me and take the kids to the paint store.
Yeah. Then though they bonded because Chris's dad took his dog.
Yeah, something about the dog.
Watched his dog. I mean, dogs. Am I right?
Dogs are beautiful.
Bring people together.
I went on Pathfinder today.
You did? You find anything?
I always find.
You always find something. And then we get back to the apartment, and it's paint night with mustaches. The whole time, I was just recoiling in my seat because they're painting on these granite countertops. There's no sheet down. There's no cardboard underneath.
You know why? Because it's not theirs.
Well, I'm hoping they're washable paints, but
yeah,
it stressed me out. But they were having a good time. They were doing accents. They were wearing mustache. Like, they actually enjoyed each other's company.
I can see them together.
Yeah, I do see them together.
I felt like when they were just like showing these like shots of them laughing, doing whatever, but there's like no sound. Like, you can tell it's genuine.
For sure.
Like, you can tell like it's not like an awkward look what I painted over here. Also, Nicole loving dinosaurs. Like, what? Are we friends?
Those two, Chris and Nicole, they were the first to naturally go deep and get vulnerable. And I think it's paid off. I think they have grown closer. And yeah, you can see, all right, there's definitely a chance here of a happy marriage.
I hope they'll make it.
Let's hope. All right. Gina and Clint. Clint already took Gina on the boat, so he's got to take her somewhere else. He's going to take her to the soccer field.
And honestly, like, watching them, it's like watching two best friends.
I could see
like, that is like no like attraction. That is like no.
They're buds.
Yes, that is like no, not even attraction. There is like nothing romantic going on between them. And it's crazy because I grew up having a lot of guy friends that I've never been attracted to. We've only been friends, right? And this is literally it. Like, you're buddies.
Yeah, they're buds. The best part of this soccer field scene was Clint brings up his big feet. Right? I was a young kid. I had huge feet. You know you're rich when your parents' heckle is, you don't even need water skis, Clint. Your feet are so big. It's like, if you're joking about water skiing.
Is it that expensive if you have a lake? You get a pair of water skis?
And a boat?
I mean, you know they're into boating already. I'm not that shocked. But yeah, they're probably well off.
That's the heckle.
Yeah, but
my parents would be like, yeah, what are you, clown feet over there? Not like, you don't even need water skis this weekend, Clint. It's pretty rich heckle.
What's funny is like this entire time it's raining.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm not a girly girl. I can be if I want to, but I'm not. Would you say I'm a girly girl?
No,
I can
definitely.
be.
No, I don't even think you could be a girly girl.
I'm a badass.
You could dress the part of a girly girl,
Yeah.
but I don't think you're ever a girly girl.
No, I'm not. But I hate being rained on. Like, that's like one thing I don't like. I do not like being rained on unless when I was a kid, I used to, when it was raining, I loved running around, jumping in the puddles, but then going home and changing my clothes, right? Like, as an adult, I just don't like being rained on. And I was thinking about it. I was like, Gina does look like a girly girl, but then she puts her shorts on and she plays soccer. And as a hairstylist, she's being rained on and doesn't even complain. Good for her.
Good for her. And speaking of hair school, or hair stylist, we go to hair school, of course. Hair school's like school. I don't know what I expected, but this place was like lockers, cafeteria, school.
Okay, I hate doing my hair because it takes 3 to 4 hours, and
When you go to the salon, not every morning.
No, yeah, I go to the salon. 3 hours, let's say. And it's just awkward conversation when half of the time I don't hear the stylist because of all the aluminum foil in my hair or the dryers. But I always go to, and it's funny because I go to the same, I got a new lady, so I could bring it back up. I'm like, so hair school, how does that work?
No
Is it
way.
like college? I always ask because it's not, you don't get a college degree. It's not college. You get a certificate.
Cosmetology.
Yeah, you get a course.
Yeah.
You get a certificate. It's like an extension course that you don't need a college degree for. And it's just because I'm always like, you do like me, you mix it up, you come with this paint or the dye, always looks purplish.
Yeah.
And you just know how it's gonna look on my hair. I find it fascinating.
Yeah, they're artists.
Not everyone's good at it.
That's
But
true.
I'm always curious about this hair school, so I always ask, and they always tell me all about it.
Anything interesting?
Not really. Besides, they basically say, it's almost like going to college, but just most of the people going there are girls. There's not a lot of guys. There's some
no dorms. Like you're not.
No.
sleeping there, right?
It's
like
like
commuter school.
It's almost like a community college,
Yeah.
but no dorms.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, we see Gina's hair school. This is what I was thinking of when you asked, did they advertise the paint store? This they advertised. This was the Paul Mitchell School of Hair, which is your classic school. It's where you want to go. It's the Yale of hair.
I would assume they would advertise the school because she literally goes in.
Yeah. So I was a little surprised to learn Gina had a life before hair.
Yeah.
She thought she was going to go into broadcasting, but realized I don't want to do that. So I was bartending, and I thought, I'll chase my dream. I'll do hair.
Good for her.
Good for her. And it kind of made me see like, this is why she is so proud and passionate, because she stood up for herself. She was on one track in life and said, you know what? Pump the brakes. Stop. I'm not happy. Let me do something that I'll actually enjoy.
And then we learned something that maybe we knew, but I didn't, that Clint is like, I really like hearing this because it shows that she's driven, and it also shows she's adaptable and takes risks, because it's like me from being a pilot into going to tech.
I knew he flew, but I didn't know he flew commercially, if that's what he meant. I didn't know he was flying as a job. But yeah, I heard this too, and I thought, so I guess he flew, and I wonder.
I mean, you
why
can
he
get
stopped.
a pilot license, and then if you want to be a commercial pilot, I think you take some extra trainings and stuff. But
Yeah, it
you
takes time.
can go to whatever pilot school.
No, I know. I'm just saying I didn't know that he was a working pilot. I thought he may have been a recreational pilot, like he's a recreational sailor.
I see.
And then back at the apartment, Gina has some of her stylist friends over.
Oh, Clint is loving this.
Was he?
Yeah, he's like, so who's married, who's single, who's committed? And they were like, how about you? Oh, they were loving it too.
Nah,
A little too much.
I'd like to hear what they talked about when the cameras went away, because this was not that juicy.
No.
This was like, how's the lasagna, Clint? That was about it.
Yeah, that's true.
Then we have our group hang. Okay, Jasmine, Eris, Kirsten, and Shaq. They're at this wild warehouse playing some sort of Nerf bow and arrow game.
It was the lamest thing I've ever seen. Shooting at each other, but not leaving any mark.
Say it was lame.
It's not even like, let's play laser tag or do paintball. No.
Yeah,
Paintball?
paintball's fun. I thought maybe the vests, maybe the arrows have a sensor, the vests pick up on it, because you don't need to wear a vest like that if you're shooting a Nerf arrow. But I'll take this over axe throwing. I'll take this over a rage room. Like, we've seen all those so many times.
I'll take the rage room over it, because there is no, why would I be running around shooting at someone if there is, how do I know if
It's
I'm winning or
competitive.
losing? But
There's a way.
That's the thing.
There's a way. There's a way.
Is there a way?
This place would be out of business the first weekend if there was no way to tell who won.
I guess.
We can look into it. They finish the game. They do a wife swap. Shaq talks to Jasmine, and Kirsten talks to Eris. And Jasmine is saying how I can't get a great read on Eris. I feel like I'm trying to stay true to myself. And this was the little red herring, the little misleading part where we see Shaq, oh, you're beautiful inside and out.
Yeah.
Continue to be yourself. Like he was basically just saying, stand up for yourself. Don't take shit. If Eris is an ass, you don't need that because you're a solid woman.
It was not romantic or sexual whatsoever.
Then Shaq brings up the whole $2.9 million house expectation that Kirsten has of him.
But he adds to it saying, I kind of understand it because it's coming from her dad. And how...
Not the price point of a home.
No, not the price point, but the ask. If I still think she was joking, but let's say she wasn't.
Yeah.
Then he's like, yeah, like the dad took care of everything and everyone. Like maybe that's what she expects.
Okay, but then as you said earlier, that's old-fashioned.
It is old-fashioned. And that's why I think she was joking.
I don't think she was. Shaq then just says he is bothered that he hasn't been able to meet Kirsten's dad and hopes, soon we can and we can talk in person.
Yeah. And then Eris and Kirsten are chatting, but there's really nothing coming out of that. Kirsten said they're doing good. Eris said he's taking it day by day.
Day by day, by day, by day. Meet the parents. All right, Jasmine and Eris back at the apartment. They're in bed. So Eris has a bunch of old letters that his dad wrote, and he reads them from time to time. And this was one of those moments where every once in a while I soften up to Eris, and this was one of those times.
Yeah, but I understand being open. I think that's great. But all he is trying lately is being open, talking to her, reading letters, talking about his dad. But how about like you get to know her a little more? And I know she's being a little reserved, but like try to help her with opening up because she's being reserved because you're not giving her what she wants and you know it. So instead of just keep talking about yourself and about your childhood, and I get it, it's important. Try to get deeper with her, but on her own time, like be there for her. He's not.
But I think
not.
this is what she wants. She even says, "Oh, okay, well, he is opening up, and I do appreciate that he's being more vulnerable." I don't know that she's not necessarily saying, "Ask me about me, ask me about me." She's saying, let's just talk. Wherever the conversation leads, will follow, but just open up a little bit. And he needed this letter as a prompt to open up, but I think it worked. At least in the moment, Jasmine was happy. It was more than he's given her in a while.
Yeah.
And she sees light at the end of the tunnel and says, well, maybe he is willing to put more into this marriage.
Maybe he is.
Maybe Teresa.
And then we go quickly to Shaq and Kirsten. They're at home.
This
Kirsten
isn't
is
good.
eating.
This is not good. I want to say I didn't say it because it wasn't relevant, but now that she is eating again. When she met Shaq's god sister and godmother, she was the only one eating. They were like spilling their family secrets and telling Kirsten, oh, Shaq does this and that. And she's just shoveling pasta into her mouth. Nobody else is eating.
She's a hungry girl. I would be eating too.
But again, it's just a sign of being uninterested. If you're telling me something serious and I'm just shoveling spaghetti and meatballs into my mouth, I'm not listening.
Also, we don't eat without each other. So if I'm eating, you're eating.
I know. Well, there was like a plate of food on the table, but no one else was eating. There's 4 people there. Kirsten was the only person eating. And I was going, it's just a sign of her lack of interest.
I don't think so. I think she just likes to eat, which I can relate to.
Okay. So yes, they're back at the apartment. Shaq brought up the conversation he had with Jasmine, how he told her, Kirsten wants me to buy her a house.
And Kirsten was like, I was joking. But then she's like, well, I know people where the husband buys the wives a house or a car.
And
but
that's why it's not a joke.
No, but she said, but that's not what I asked you to.
This is why it's not a joke.
And she keeps saying...
She's defending herself. That's a defense of what she said. Well, I know people whose husbands buy. That's a defense.
Maybe, but then she adds, well, we can buy a house. We'll be fine. We'll see what we can afford. We can see, like... She talks, like, plural, the 2 of them doing this together. Like, I think she was joking.
Good. Well, maybe she
Or
realized.
testing him, but I don't think that's her expectation.
Maybe she realized Shaq's not biting, and so she changed her tune. But he is legit peeved. He's at the point where she's talking with food in her mouth, and he's calling her out on it.
Yeah.
Something he wouldn't have probably
No.
called her out on 3 weeks ago. But because she is so on his nerves now, he's like, can you chew and then talk, please? Like, it's those little things that bother someone once you're already at each other's throats.
I guess. Well, I hope they'll work it out.
They
Because
won't.
I still think she's kind of joking. And she was like, pump the brakes, honey. We'll be good. We'll be fine.
They won't work it out.
You don't think so?
No, she's saying no on decision day.
No.
She's saying no.
No, she's going to say yes.
She's saying no.
No, she's saying yes.
Okay.
If anyone's going to say no, it's going to be him.
Okay.
But I think they're going to make it.
Okay. And then we have Dominique and McKinley. I'm just joking.
Yeah,
Remember
but
them?
I think they'll be back.
Remember them?
They'll be back.
Good.
They're in the previews. They'll be back independently, I think, but they'll
Come
be
on
back.
All right. That's the episode. Woo. The sunscreen episode.
Yep.
Make sure you guys are following us on Instagram at Married to Reality Pod. Patreon, can't say it enough. Patreon.com/married2reality is big right now. It's big. A lot of content
A lot of content.
and a lot more to come. So patreon.com/married2reality. Check it out. And thank you again for the reviews. If you haven't left one, please do. And make sure you're following the podcast, the one you're listening to right now. So easy to do. You look down, you smash that follow button.
Guys, smash it like it's hurt. Yes.
Pogs.
Exactly. As hard as Sparks, I would totally play,
I would totally play.
right?
Let's go play.
We would probably scratch the floors, but
All right. I've said it all. You said it all.
I've said too much.
We will talk to you guys soon. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.